welcome. Thanks for your presence. If you are enjoying this, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps joy and inspiration move forth into the world. Good morning, welcome. And we are meditating on the topic, divine assuredness. This is part of our series on boundless compassion and healing. And so a couple of indications. So treat this as a fun pop quiz, okay? So, and just sort of check in, look back over your week or over whatever period of time you would like to look back over and just say, have I felt always unconditional love? I see smiles and a few laughs. So when we are in contact with the energy of divine assuredness, then we're feeling directly unconditional love, always, ongoingly, like in flowing, non-divisible, unbroken steadiness, and then also motion. So unconditional love and divine assuredness go together. And so we're giving ourselves the opportunity and the invitation to feel always unconditional love. So we're going to play with this and work with this a little bit later, but that's one indication. Divine assuredness, another indication that we're in contact with divine assuredness. And so again, pop quiz, make it fun. Over this last week, did I feel entirely free from the tangle of ego? I see a few laughter. They're kind of silent. Kind of like this little laughter that wants to bubble up. So when we are in contact with divine assuredness, then there's no ego entanglement. There's no ego tangles. And so when we are in contact with divine assuredness, unconditional love is always present. No ego tangles are present. And another way of putting that is we live in freedom. We live in freedom, always. And so again, that's another fun pop quiz for yourself, make it fun. But looking back over this last week, did I consciously feel always that I was living in freedom? And so if not, no worries. That just tells you we are where we are, we're gaining self-awareness, and that's our practice. And so I want to just share this very brief teaching. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. It's a very compassionate teaching. And it says this, those who practice this teaching with heart full of devotion, determination, and faith, they alone shall become free from attachment to all actions. And so it just says, if you're not feeling completely free always, that's your practice. No worries. If you're not feeling completely free from the entanglement of ego, that's your practice, no worries. If you're not feeling unconditional love unremittingly in an unbroken stream, that's your practice. And again, just no worries. And so it also gives us a clue. It says basically, until we are so established in self-realization that we feel unbroken, unconditional love, we are free, continually and ongoing from the tangle of ego. We have that divine assuredness always, then that's our practice. And so just to have that awareness, just to say, that's my practice in time and space for right now. If I'm experiencing anything other than divine assuredness, unconditional love, and this feeling of joyful freedom always. The teaching from the Bhagavad Gita also says, here's how to practice. With a heart full of devotion, determination, and faith. And so for ourselves, let us allow ourselves to feel, what does it feel when my heart is full of devotion, determination, and faith? And so when I have a heart filled with the feeling, directly full to overflowing with the feeling of devotion, determination, and faith, just sort of notice what happens. Feel that energy of devotion, determination, and faith within yourself. Indomitable strength arises. The ability to endure is present. The capacity to persevere is there. It's with you always. And you sort of have this feeling that steadfast strength and boundless love will, by grace, be with you And by grace, we'll show you this is the next step forward. And then the next step forward after that. And then the next step forward. And there's also this sort of felt awareness that with this heart full of devotion, determination, and faith, Grace and I have got this. So that expansive, eternal, boundless light, unconditional love, that energy that is wholeness and healing, is with us always. And it will always be walking through us and reaching out a hand through us and sharing healing energy with our human emotional hearts and helping heal and soothe if there are any human patterns of thinking that have been creating anything other than calm and clarity. And again, I see some compassionate, self-aware smiles right there. Then that energy is lovingly able to flow through our patterns of thinking as well. And that's our practice. That's our practice. And so just for each of us to love ourselves forward with clarity, with self-awareness, with dedication, and to say, I am dedicated. I commit to my practice. I will give myself lovingly to my practice. So you all know this from human relationships, but human relationships, when we are in love relationships, they draw forth commitment, right? Sometimes it's easy and fun. Sometimes it takes everything we can possibly muster, right? And again, I see people laughing with recognition and awareness. And so we're giving that commitment to ourselves. We're giving that commitment to our spiritual heart. We're giving that commitment to our spiritual practice. We're giving that commitment to our meditation practice and to our karma yoga practice. And so the yogis tell us that karma yoga is one of the ways that we can really quickly melt away any patterns of negativity that we have been carrying. Karma yoga just brings the energy of grace, the energy of light, the energy of healing, and it melts away and helps resolve those patterns and moves them in positive directions. Okay, so that's the teaching from the Bhagavad Gita. And it's actually, if you look back later at the prayer, it's that same teaching that the prayer is giving us as well. So the prayer from Swami Nityananda says to each of us is limitless, boundless light and awareness and unconditional love. And each of us is invited to live from that soul awareness, even when the human self doesn't feel that soul awareness. And so the prayer is also compassionately telling you there might be times that your human self feels whatever it is, however your human self has felt. The human self can feel sadness, it can feel grief, it can feel confusion, it can feel pain, it can feel loss, it can feel anguish, it can feel frustration. So whatever it is that the human self has been feeling, just to have that awareness, not to judge. That's another indicator, by the way, another fun pop quiz. Have I judged anyone or anything? So if we're in the energy of unconditional love, judgment melts away too. So we keep our wisdom, we keep our awareness, we keep our compassionate understanding and intelligence, that stays, but there's just no judgment and there's no reactivity as well. And so we're inviting ourselves to be committed, to be dedicated to ourselves, to have a love relationship with ourselves and with our spiritual practice and living as boundless light and unconditional love in daily human life, in our relationships, in our friendships, our families, our partners, interactions with whoever it is that we're interacting with, in our workplace, our tasks, our neighborhoods, wherever it is that we are, we're inviting that boundless awareness to be with us and to, by grace, share itself through us. So the same teaching is shared in Psalm 139. And this is one of those teachings just for the ages, like it just sings to the heart of humans. And so as you hear this, I invite you, if you like, to close your eyes and to really allow yourself to feel this in your heart. This is the song of the heart. From within, every human singing to that divine, expansive, boundless, limitless awareness. So you can call it the self, you can call it God, you can call it the divine, whatever be your name for it. This is the heart of the human self singing to that expanded, limitless, infinite awareness within each of us. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. And so you can just, if you like, keep your eyes closed, if you like, and allow yourself to keep feeling that direct felt divine assuredness, that direct felt connectedness, knowing that there is nowhere that any human being can go and not be held by unconditional divine love. Everywhere that we have ever been, everywhere that we have ever imagined that we have gone, we have been held by divine unconditional love. And so divine assuredness is with us always before we come into this life, before we come into this form, after we leave this life, after we leave this form, and every moment of being in this life, divine assuredness is there. Every one of us is held, is supported, is cared for, is blessed, is beloved, is adored, and is nurtured by this energy. It is with us always. And so living in freedom means that we give ourselves the gift of being able to connect consciously with this energy whenever we want or need to. So if we have stepped away from feeling directly connected with it, it is the ability to instantly, in a single breath, in a moment, in a heartbeat, in between a breath, in between a thought, in between a heartbeat, connect with this divine assuredness. And so I'm going to invite us, if you like, close your eyes, and I'm inviting us to work with what we've been meditating on from the outset. So in case anyone joined us midstream, connect with the core of the earth beneath your feet. Connect with the heart of the earth beneath your feet. One contemporary way that people phrase this is let yourself feel grounded and supported by the vastness and the steadiness of the earth. And then notice that as soon as we have this steady, stable, supported, balanced energy present within ourselves, it's possible for our awareness to fly. And so you don't have to ask how. Just silently say, I give permission for my awareness to fly. I give permission for my consciousness to soar. I give permission to expand my awareness beyond the horizon of human limitation. I give myself permission to feel what it feels like to be beyond the human body and to feel limitless, boundless, unconditional love. I give myself permission to feel expansiveness and freedom and the energy of wholeness, non-divisible wholeness. And then notice that from this expanded awareness, we also can give permission to flow healing energy into the human body. And again, you don't have to ask how, just say, I give permission for my expanded awareness to flow healing, helpful energy into every cell of my body, into the tissues, into the nervous system, into the brain, the heart, the circulation, the digestive system, into the human patterns of thinking. I give myself permission to become aware of the energy of solutions. So I let go of anywhere that I've been feeling bound by consciousness of problems. I lay that down for right now. I can pick it up later if I need to, but right now I'm giving myself permission to expand and to feel directly the energy of solutions. Not expecting that there's only one solution. So opening. One image to use is cultivate kaleidoscopic awareness. So just turn the kaleidoscope just a little bit, and there will be new light, new color, new energy that immediately fills you. And just notice what that new energy, that new color, that new light feels like. And it is as if energy from another universe pours into this universe. We are multidimensional beings. We have access to expansive awareness beyond what humans usually allow ourselves to be aware of. And so again, if that was helpful, play with it again. Cultivate kaleidoscopic awareness. Turn the kaleidoscope slightly and just allow another infusion of light and color and energy to come pouring into you. And then allow yourself to feel. So come back into consciousness of being in your human body. Being in your human body is not a mistake. It's not a cosmic joke or punchline. It's not a punishment. This is the energy of boundless love taking flesh. And so this is the divine knowing itself in this human self that you are experiencing. And so when you have that awareness, it allows you to treat your human self with much more kindness and much more appreciation and much more unconditional love. And so just notice, what would it feel like to treat my body with respect? What would it feel like to treat my body with understanding, with boundless compassion? What would it feel like to know that always I have the ability to connect with that kaleidoscopic awareness and to flow new energy, new light, new life force through this physical form and also through this human heart and also into these human patterns of thinking. So each of us in this now moment has the ability, and I'd like you to play with this briefly with eyes closed, to radiate healing love in all directions, past, present, and future. In the now, all times are. And so in the now, each of us can radiate healing love in all directions. From a human perspective, it appears to be past, present, future. Just give permission. I give permission for this now awareness to radiate healing love in all directions. Into what humans call the past, into what humans call the present, into what humans call the future. And then notice how you feel in your body. Notice what it feels like to be in your body, feet on the earth, aware of your physicality, aware of your human heart, aware of your human mind, your human hands. And notice what it feels like to be in that now kaleidoscopic energy awareness, connected to new light, new life force, new insight, and allowing that to flow wherever it is most helpful. And then also notice it's possible to radiate this energy out. And so first, let's do it right now with those who are currently meditating. And so just radiate boundless compassion and healing, radiate light and warmth and color and joy and pure life energy to everyone who is currently meditating. And this will reach anyone if you listen to this in the future. It reaches you. You're able to connect with this instantly as well. And in truth, you are already, right now, in the now, here already. And then notice that it's possible to consciously invite this energy to increase. So you can turn it up, you can amplify it by an order of 10. And notice how fun that is. So notice that then it becomes possible almost to dance with this energy or surf with this energy. So waves of this energy are able to share themselves with everyone currently meditating. And there's a beautiful interplay and aliveness of sharing energy in consciousness in that way. And then notice as well that it's possible to radiate that energy out into the world in the present, into the world in the past, into the world in the future, knowing that in the now, all times are. So I'm going to invite you just to keep your focus on that warm, bright, fresh, alive, invigorating, compassionate, aware, helpful, healing energy at your heart. I'm blinking my eyes open just long enough to share with you a really, really sweet and charming story, which comes to us from contemporary times. And I don't know if some of you might have seen it. It's been in the news maybe like the last week or 10 days. I just saw it a couple days ago. But this 5th grade class in Minnesota was on the playground. And so they noticed like all the kids are out there at recess and they're watching. And they're noticing that many of the kids are able to play on the playground equipment, but there are their classmates who are in wheelchairs who are not able to play on the playground equipment. And they look at this and they say, recess is supposed to be fun, but some of my classmates are not able to have fun because the playground equipment doesn't have adaptations for them to be able to use the playground equipment. So this 5th grade class goes back into their classroom and they ask their teacher, why don't we have playground equipment that everyone can use? And their teacher says, because it's expensive. And they say, so? And she says, no, I mean like really expensive. And she puts the number $300,000 on the board. And they say, so? And they start collecting spare change. And they have a bake sale. And then these 5th graders start cold calling businesses. And they don't give up. And they recently succeeded with the help of the parent-teacher organization of this school in raising $300,000. And so if you look at the news clip, I encourage you to do it. It was CBS Minnesota news station. You won't be able to watch it without crying. So basically everyone they interview cry. So there's like a 5th grader who's in a wheelchair. He's actually one of the few who didn't cry, but he says, the first time I use this equipment, I will cry. And not because of the equipment, because of the effort that went into it. And then they show a 5th grader who helped raise the money, and he's crying. And he says, it just makes me so happy that we wanted to do this, and we did it, and it worked. And he's crying. And then they show the teacher, and she's like, I'm so happy for the future of this world, because these are the 5th graders. And they look at something, and they say, there's this call for this, so let's do it. And the way she said it, and they jump in head first. That was her phrasing. For me, they also jumped in heart first. They sort of didn't give up. So get this, they're not done. Now they want to raise adaptive playground equipment for all of the other schools in their school district. These amazing 5th graders. And so this is when you have this energy of divine assuredness, you're not deterred by anything. You're not deterred by any number. You're not deterred by any outer circumstance. You're not deterred by adults not thinking that it's possible. You sort of say, I believe that we can work together and we can call forth resources and generosity and love. I mean, that's really what is being called forth. Really what they were calling forth was love. That was what was called forth. And as a byproduct of that, the funding arose. And as a byproduct of that, the playground equipment arose. So it really is just, am I honoring that love that connects me with all of existence, with all of life? And am I allowing myself to live with that generosity, that divine assuredness, so that every moment of my life, I live in an abundant universe of generosity and divine assuredness and unconditional love, free from the tangle of ego, not allowing myself to be deterred by anything in time and space, knowing always grace can, will, and does find a way forward through me, through you, and through all of us. Thank God, and God bless us all.